Make sure to subscribe to our channel, join our Discord, and also follow us on Instagram so you always have the support that you need to really enhance your account and get yourself to the next level. Also, if you stick around until the end of the video, I'm going to show you how you can save a lot of money when you make in-game purchases by getting some amazing cashbacks each time you purchase anything. Hello everyone and welcome to another video of the Sky channel. So this is going to be a PvE lineup recommendation video. And some of you may already know I did make a PvE tier list video focusing on ants not too long ago, but a lot of people asked me for a lineup recommendation video because they mentioned that would help them a little bit more. So some of the content is going to be fairly similar to the PvE tier list, but of course, as you all asked for it, I'm going to be creating a lineup recommendation for both free-to-play players and pay-to-win. This is going to be particularly focused on carrier ants. And without further ado, let's get started. Now for carriers, the free-to-play option that I generally used to use was right here. Gold armor was row number 1 and gold armor specialty was that its awakening enabled extra damage to Groundhog and Pangolin for all of our squads by 20%. This made gold armor special for PvE, especially for free-to-play players, because it's not only increasing its own damage, it's increasing the damage of the other ants that are probably going to be good damage dealers as well. And row 2 is Golden Crystal. And Golden Crystal is a very good damage dealer and it really benefits from poison. As you can see, poisoned enemies get 50% extra skill damage when you release skill 8. It also has an awakening that does increase its damage by a little bit as well. In row 3, I'm using CR, which I have a 2-star, and it does do a decent amount of damage. Though I did hear some big whales telling me that their Golden Crystal Max Star Max Awakening does more damage than CR. For me, as a free-to-play player, my 2-star CR does pretty well. So I do have that in row number 3. So this was a lineup that I've been using for a while, and it was doing fairly well. And of course, back then, my gold armor was 8-star. But I did want to get some of the exotic shells back, so I made it 2-star. And once I did that, I did test out another lineup for myself, so free to play, because somebody told me that Mimic Crawler actually does fairly well as well. So I put the Mimic Crawler in row number 1, tested it out a few times, and then I put gold armor 2-star, gold awakening in row 1 and tested that out a few times as well. And to my surprise, Mimic Crawler actually got a higher average damage than the gold armor 2-star golden awakening, even though Mimic Crawler was 0-star. This may have come as a surprise because Mimic Crawler is definitely a PvP ant. So why would it have done really well? Well, number 1, Mimic Crawler has the ability of placing random negative statuses at the enemies, including poison. And as you remember, Golden Crystal does more damage to poisoned enemies. So the second important thing that it does give is skill number 5, where it actually grants a buff to all of our squads to increase damage dealt to enemy squads with negative statuses by 30% at 0-star. And it lasts 2 rounds and is stackable. So if you have that twice, you're talking 60% at 0-star. We also know that skill 2 places a bunch of negative effects at the enemies, so it does give the ability of our squads doing a lot more damage to the enemies that are likely going to have negative statuses anyway, especially because Golden Crystal also ends up poisoning them anyway. So on average, this unit did a little bit better than the gold armor one. That being said, the difference was negligible. And I can't rule out luck from it, but it did fairly well. So in my opinion, if you have a gold armor at 2-star and you have Mimic Crawler, give it a try. I think they're going to be fairly similar in terms of damage because in my case, I got very similar numbers. If you have a gold armor at 8-star, you might end up doing much better with the gold armor and you may want to stick with it. In my case, as I mentioned before, I did want the exotic shells back and that's one of the reasons why I did want to switch out the stars. So that's the free-to-play options that I recommend for PvE. What about the paid options? Well, paid options are going to be a little bit different, and my recommendation for the best options to use for pay to win includes several ants that I don't have, so we're going to go through the special ant list. Firstly, you want to have Honeypot Ant, and you probably want to have the Honeypot Ant at row 3. It does a ton of damage through its skills, and it also benefits from poison. Put it in row 3 and give it the skill attack bonus, because Honeypot Ant is going to be doing more damage than any other ant that you have right now. particularly because it just came out. When a new ant comes out, it generally does very, very well. So definitely Honeypot Ant row 3. In row 2, you can stick with Golden Crystal for now because Golden Crystal does do a lot of damage, especially high star, high awakening. And if you have a Honeypot Ant, you're probably one of the whales, so might as well have a high star Golden Crystal for now. The additional benefit that you're getting is the fact that Golden Crystal also benefits from poison. So there's a synergy with Honeypot Ant. And then row number 1, you can use the LB, also known as the King of Attack a while back. It's still a very good damage dealer, especially if you have it awakened, because the skills do a ton of damage. And if you look at the numbers, they are extremely high. Keep that in row 1, or you can switch it out at row 2 with Golden Crystal and you'll end up doing a decent amount of damage. Now there is another option for you, and if you don't have, let's say, LB, or you just don't want to invest in Golden Crystal but you have CR, high star, you can use CR instead, because CR, in my opinion, does do fairly well. We've already talked about him. It's a good ant and it does do a decent amount of damage. And you know what? Sooner or later, it's going to get an awakening and perhaps it's going to become one of the best PvE ants out there. So, whenever I'm thinking about ants, I'm thinking about the long run. CR is probably going to remain relevant for much longer than Golden Crystal, purely because it's an S3 ant and it is one of the rarer ones, right? Generally, the rarer ones, they have a longer shelf life than the ones that are less rare. For example, Nimble Tree Ant's relevance was much lesser than the Wise Berserker. Similarly, Sahan Silver Ant's relevance remained much longer than the CI. That's basically the way it works, right? The rarer ants, they have a longer shelf life, and hence CR is going to remain relevant for longer, so it makes a little bit more sense to invest in that more than it makes to invest in an S1 ant like Golden Crystal, which is likely going to have an end of its shelf life soon. Now, if you have a high star, high awakened Crimson Pearl, that is also a really good choice for you to use for Pangolin, as it can end up doing a lot of damage, and I've seen reports of it exceeding the damage of even Honeypot Ant. That being said, on average, Honeypot is obviously going to be much better. And that is what I have for this video for the Carrier PvE lineups that you can use. Hopefully it was helpful for you. Before you go, I want you to know that you can save a lot of money in the Ants Underground Kingdom and join a lot of other users that are using our promo code and saving a lot of money. Check out the video that I'm linking in the description, or click that button that's going to appear at the top right of the screen. That'll take you to the video, which will guide you through the process of saving all that money. You'll also be helping our channel by using our promo code, because that's going to keep our sponsorship going. And of course, the sponsors being happy means that we get rewarded as well. If you have any questions, join our Discord and I can guide you through the process there personally as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.